Hi, everyone. I'm Inge Boubez, Director of Marketing at Agility. We have with us here today our CTO, Joel Varty, who will be talking with us today about our new UI called Plenum. So I'm going to be asking him a few questions to give you guys a bit of a sneak peek. And Joel, you may wish to answer any way you want. And without further ado, I'll just start with question number one. Actually, Joel, if you wanted to introduce yourself first.
Oh, sure. I mean, thanks, Inga. This is great. Really excited. I'm actually a little nervous because I haven't shown this UI to very many people yet. Our team's been working on it like crazy, and we're really excited. So, I've been with Agility for a long enough time that this is, the third iteration of like a brand new user interface for the content manager. So I'm really excited to show it off today.
We're all very excited to see this. So our first question, the new UI is called Plenum. I've always wondered why the name, what does it mean to you? If you could please give us a bit of an insight into that.
Yeah, actually, the name came from our designer. We David, our designer, who just has done an amazing job, basically taking all of the elements that we currently had in the old UI and the classic UI is what I refer to it as it now, and kind of bringing that all into a whole new design system. And he came up with that. And it's like a physics term. It means a space that's completely filled with matter. And so it's like thinking about the whole of this space and how best to use it. And he kind of brought that into the idea of like enterprise software design and thinking about what's the best way to use all the space to make it the most intuitive and the most beautiful space used as possible.
Wow, that's actually really creative. I'm glad I asked that question. Um, and the old UI, I would imagine that at one point in time it had met the customer's needs, but perhaps maybe it didn't meet some of the needs later on. I wanted to understand what are the salient differences between the old UI and Plenum. Maybe you could elaborate a little bit more just to give us a bit of a sneak peek into the new UI.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a good time to actually, first of all, I'm going to take a drink out of my coffee cup, showing the old Agility logo. This is like totally retro cup.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so little flash in there. What I'm going to do is actually flash and show this on the screen and kind of do a side by side comparison of a few parts to kind of show you first. So I'll actually bring it up with the old UI here first. And the cool thing is that the new UI is designed is very, I call it congruent with the old system, as in it's like kind of a one-to-one as we're getting started. But the biggest thing was to give it a fresh feel. It's more of like a let's just update the front end, though everything that the customer sees, and streamline everything and make it more accessible and kind of easier to look at. Make it a little nicer on the eyes while not really changing that much. But it's kind of a way to get a new set of development practices in place too. So we wanted to basically solidify our design system so that our customers and partners and ourselves as a first party can build apps more easily that run and actually just show in more places. So phase one is basically kind of like a lift and shift to give everything a fresh new coat of paint, essentially. But that new coat of paint really has a lot of underpinnings as well. So, it looks nicer, but it also is opening us up for the future. And I'll just kind of click through a few of the different places and show you sort of a before and after. And what's really interesting is customers will be able to switch back and forth very easily once this goes alive and goes into beta soon. So here's the dashboard in the sort of the classic system, and here's the new dashboard. So a lot more use of color, a lot more use of white and white space, and very, very streamlined, even though a lot of the same things are being shown. We've actually put more emphasis on things that are more important as well. I'll just kind of click through some of the stuff here. So if I jump into like the content area, so this is showing all of the content that can be shared throughout the system. Now this is a dev system, a test system, so there's a lot of kind of test type things. And some of this is actually not the final beta yet, but you can see a lot more use of white space. If I click through to show the same screen, it's very dark. Let's just jump into a listing here let's show a listing of blog posts. Again, very dark, very, very sort of like kind of crammed in there with this stuff. If I show the same listing here, it's a lot sort of fresher feeling, I find. And
I really like it.
yeah, to me, most of the folks that have seen it have been really happy with how kind of fresh and light it feels. with a few more ability to control things. Like the side panel has a lot more functionality now. There's a lot of things will show up in here, even though it was there before. You couldn't easily hide it, things like that. And this grid is going to be, we're still working on it, but the new grid is going to be just so cool. The ability to, move columns around and more easily kind of work with your data. I'm really excited for folks to start playing around with this.
That is awesome. I mean, I know our users are both very technical or not technical like myself. For a non-technical person such as myself, this to me just looks personally less intimidating, if
Awesome.
I could say so. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no, I'm really, really excited to have folks kind of take a look at it and give us a lot of feedback. And we really hope to use more of our customers' feedback as we have done and continue to do that.
This is great. Would you like to show anything else on the product, or should I move on to some of the other questions I had prepared?
Yeah, I mean, let's go for a few more questions. And as I answer the questions, maybe we'll show a few more things just to sort of like not show it all at once, but kind of reveal little by little.
Yeah, absolutely. The process of creating Plenum, I had heard several feedback saying that you really took consideration of what the customers needed and what customers wanted. I thought perhaps you might want to share that with the rest of us as to what that process was.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this came about, and I really have to sort of thank our team. The team that we have has been great. So we have David as a designer, worked very closely with like Joel Varty, the CEO of Agility, and I work very closely together when thinking about customer feedback and bringing it together, as well as working with our customer success team and our support team, kind of bringing together a lot of the feedback that we've taken from our roadmap. And from the roadmap that's on our website, you can actually submit things. And a lot of our customers have provided feedback. We've incorporated as much of that in here as we can. And then also understanding that some of the feedback was things that, we're going to need to do some major UI changes to bring these new things in and to kind of change how we work with a lot of stuff. And if actually one of the things is how we work with apps. And so that was one of the main points that we're working on to sort of make it easier for folks to use more space within this system for apps. So currently, you can build apps that are custom fields, right? And so if I go onto here, we have a Cloudinary custom field that's been in place for quite some time that's available. So those same custom field apps that worked in the old system, in the classic system. So I'll just show you how easy to switch. I'm just going to open up this exact same screen, open that up in the classic system. We'll bring that up, and you'll see that it's the same content that's going to show, but it's in the old system. So we can actually browse into my Cloudinary if I sign into Cloudinary with the correct login here. So this is an example of the Cloudinary integration that we have that allows you to work with if you want to use Cloudinary as your asset manager. Well, the same app will work pretty much exactly the same way in the new UI as it does in the classic UI. And we wanted to make that all the way through. But we also wanted to surface more places, more surfaces within the system to actually put that. So one of those places will be on this sidebar. You will have the ability to create sidebar apps, which can show on content, on lists, in pages. And then you will also have the ability to create reports. So you'll be able to create report apps. You'll be able to create dashboard apps. So something that shows, like here's an example of something that's showing on the dashboard, but you will be able to customize what shows up on here for both the home screen, pages, and for content, as well as the ability to create whole new sections within this system. So the idea is a lot of folks that are creating composable DXPs are using the content management system, Agility as a CMS, as the hub for all of their services. So they're bringing together, maybe it's FormStack or Typeform, all those things. Maybe it's ActiveCampaign or Salesforce. They're bringing all these things and using Agility as a connector for it. And now you'll be able to really easily and much more quickly, especially because of first-party apps, bring those together using no code to install these things. And it's just a matter of configuring them and hooking them up to your instances.
That's amazing. Impressive. I really like that.
Yeah, it's a really exciting sort of time for us to sort of be revealing it as both a new look and feel, but also pretty major capabilities that are coming down the pipe.
So that's amazing. Now you've shown how we can toggle back and forth between the classic UI and the new UI. I'm just wondering about the rollout plan then. How would our customers be able to get this set up and ready to go?
Mhm.
Um, I know right now it's still in beta, but could you please elaborate a little bit what the roadmap is going to be like?
Sure. We're still in beta. On October the 12th, that's the date that we're going to be rolling out this beta. Customers will start seeing a button appear up here that will allow them to switch to the new beta. So that will just appear. It will appear on everybody's instance. It's whether you have a trial account, whether you're an enterprise customer or anything. Anybody that's using the system, they will see that. Okay, so that will show up here. That will allow you essentially to do the opposite of what I just did here. Was when you're in the new UI, you will have this button called Classic version that will switch you back if there's something that doesn't make sense, or if it's God forbid broken, or not quite feature complete. There are certain areas that will not be feature complete for the beta. So that will be models, reports, and settings. These will be rolled out in Q4 in the coming months, with the goal of being done essentially by the end of the year. All of this stuff, as well as anything we else wanted to get feature complete on. So you'll see, some areas you will see like a coming soon, but in other areas such as assets, it's been a complete redesign, which has been really exciting. So if I just go to the assets area here, you can see pretty boring. We really haven't changed how this works pretty much since 2015. Whereas this has been a complete, top-down redesign where it's the same data that's showing with a completely different face, allowing us to more easily, do much better filtering, to have much better integration with the top-level search. So if I wanted to find PDFs in the top-level search, I can now search assets. So this wasn't happening before. And the ability to do uploads. So when this a whole new upload screen, to work better with zip files, work better with understanding what the assets are before you're uploading them is really great. I'll just kind of demonstrate that really quickly. So if I've got this kind of loaded up. So if I have, a bunch of stock photos here and I want to upload them, I'll be able to see first how big they are, what the actual photo is before I upload it. This is a whole new screen. So we're really hoping that this and a bunch of other improvements really help customers, understand their data before they actually have to put it into the central hub.
Beautiful.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff. I'm so excited to start getting feedback.
Yeah. So speaking of feedback and training, learnings, and so on, I know we've hosted partner sessions as well as customer sessions. I believe we have a lunch and learn coming up. So
Yep.
I just wanted to just share with everybody watching this video that is coming up. Please stay tuned for further announcements. We have a lot more things coming up, exciting things to show you how this all works out. I wanted to also make sure that we are aware that we're here for you, and we want to help you out with everything that you need with regards to the new UI as we roll it out. Joel, if you have any final comments or insight or anything at all, please share it with us.
Yeah, I mean, just along with what you were saying, Inge, I think that we'll have documentation out on our doc site specific to the new UI, and a lot of that will be compare and contrast with, hey, this is what's implemented so far. This coming in the beta. These things will not be implemented. Here's our plan for that, as well as we'll have more videos similar to this one, where we're showing off different areas and doing training on how to if there's anything new or changed, just sort of how to navigate that as a user of Agility.
That's great. I don't really have any more questions prepared for you today, Joel. I wanted to just keep this kind of at a conversational level. If there's anything else that you wanted to share with us, feel free. Otherwise, we could wrap it up and then we'll see you guys.
I mean,
learn.
I think the first thing is this is our first little video together, Inge, and I think this has been great. So
yeah, I'm having fun,
really,
and I'm learning at the same time. This is amazing. I love this.
Well, I enjoy sharing the screen with you, and it's been great to see to hear your feedback as you've come into the organization, and really helped us expand our worldview a little bit on what the customers are expecting to see, and how normal people who are outside the organization looking in see things. So you've really helped me open my eyes on that a little bit, especially with regards to this new UI. So that to me just makes it even more exciting.
Yes, I'm happy to. Although, you know, normal is a little bit underrated, or is it overrated? But I'll try to give you that pair of eyes to kind of look things over from an objective, fresh set of eyes. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think I'm happy. I'm happy with what I see. Unless there's anything else, we could wrap it up. And I really thank you for your time, and thank you for watching this video. Joel, I think we're good, right, to wrap it up?
We are. Thanks, Inge.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody.
Bye now.
Bye.